Welcome to the FaceTime with God podcast. I'm your host, Kay Farrar, and yes, you have tuned in to the right place because we're bringing Christ to the culture and the culture to Christ. Because the gospel's not for old times, it's for all times. So we've got relevant topics, real people, and we're starting right now.
I would make up songs. Oh my goodness. Hush, da 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 da, hush, da 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 da. Somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush. And then I would, just put my hand on it, and that whole class would get quiet. We would, the party song. We would just make up songs on this. It just come. And my mom's the same way.
All right, everybody. So welcome to another edition of FaceTime with God. And today we have one of my faves that I was just sharing with our videographer. I was like, she's actually here. Because we have been wanting to get schedules to work out for a minute to have her be here with us. I am speaking of none other than the Mrs. Rita Jones. So welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Welcome.
To be here.
Absolutely.
Glad we could finally make this happen.
Yes, it is a blessing. And of course, we have one of the co-hosts here, Miss Lolly. So prayerfully, she will behave the whole time.
Thank you for having me, Lolly.
Welcome to the set. So, Rita, we're going to start with just a few little warm-up questions.
Okay.
And I want to call this Rita's faves, right?
Okay.
So I would like to know a few of your favorites, just so our audience also can just get to know you a little bit better, even though you are famous. So I'm sure people know Miss Rita. Okay. Near and far, but they might not know your face. So we're going to talk a little bit about Rita's faves, and I'm going to call off a few, and you just give us what your response is. So what is Rita's favorite way to relax?
Favorite way to relax is listening to music.
Wow.
Just either chilled on the sofa, laying back in my bedroom, my sanctuary, I call it actually, because I tell people I really don't have to go anywhere because I've created a sanctuary.
Okay.
So I can
I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes, so.
I love that. Mm-hmm. So, and it's kind of interesting because you are also, would you consider yourself an artist, a psalmist, a singer? What would you say?
Yes.
Or all of the above?
I consider myself as a music minister.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's so for me, because, of course, we're in that vein, right, of music and ministry for a lot of years and working with youth and all that good stuff. But some of my friends who do music ministry don't really, because I happen to listen to music.
Right.
Some don't because it's like a job, like they, so it's interesting. Now, do you listen to, what is your favorite type to listen to?
I love music.
Okay.
As long as it's positive, uplifting.
So right now, let's say Rita is going home to relax. What would you turn on? What would you do? Just go to a certain station and just let it play?
No. I love CC.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I love CC. Right now, she's always spoke to my heart. Definitely spoke to my heart. And my husband and I minister together, so I love listening to couples.
Okay.
Over the years, that's changed. It just depends on, again, what speaks to my heart. But BB and CC, now back in the day, but we still sing BB and CC.
Okay.
Depending on what.
That fits you. That fits you so perfectly. So I'm not surprised by that at all. All right, here are a few more, and you can just, just let it out. Okay, your favorite food?
Salmon.
All right. We
mashed
need to go
potatoes.
Oh, she's adding on to it. Okay. All right.
And spinach.
Okay. Wow. All right, we can eat together anytime.
Okay.
All right, your favorite drink?
Lemonade.
Lemonade.
And
Okay.
water's strong. Well, lately water. I've been
Okay.
really
You're being
pushing.
good.
I've been
Is it a
trying to
certain
push the
type of water, certain brand, certain
I
ingredients
like
in your water? Because nowadays, you know,
no ingredients.
water is not just water.
Give me some. My husband said the most expensive, but just as long as I know it's good for you. So
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so nothing special, just one of the good ones. Yeah. All right, your favorite vacation spot?
I love Atlanta.
Okay.
I love the vibe of Atlanta.
Wow.
When we visited many, many years ago, and every time I go to Atlanta, I'm happy.
Wow.
I don't. One thing I do know, I feel like all the people that I have met are so welcoming.
Wow.
And I just sense an entrepreneurial spirit there.
Okay, a lot of people say that.
Yeah,
a lot of people say that. Is that the vibe you're speaking of, or is it more than that in terms of when you say you like the vibe there? What?
That vibe. And embracing. It's a melting pot, I think.
Okay.
You know, when we lived there, we actually visited several years ago, and I was praying. I said, Lord, I would love to live in Atlanta. Doors open, and we moved there.
Okay.
And everyone that I came in contact with, they were so, like I said, welcoming, and they think outside of the box. I love that.
Okay.
Because I'm an outside of the box kind of girl.
All
you know,
right.
Ever since I was young, I did things different. My family, they always say, we don't know where she came from. I'm definitely a little different. So I'm very particular.
How does that play out? Okay, different as you're particular.
I'm
what
very
else?
particular.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk about it.
Okay.
If there's an issue, if there's I love peace.
Okay.
So if I sense something's going on, or if I see something's, somebody's not vibing, or mainly, family, I'm not gonna approach, everybody like that.
Okay.
But I have been told when I did work in the secular field that I was they said, you're the littlest one here, and you have all the mouth. You're going to take care of everybody.
Wow.
So about most of my managers, because I love people to be treated fairly.
Okay.
So I'm going to speak up.
I like that.
And say, let's talk about it. Let's find a way how we can work this out. Yeah. I would volunteer to work for people if they needed to do different things. But
and it's I love that, because a lot of times people think speaking out or wanting to sort of right wrongs would not fit a personality like yours, because you're so polished, right? Soft-spoken.
Polished, okay.
Yeah, polished and soft-spoken. That's what I see when I see you. Okay. So I think that's perfect for somebody who wants to speak out and make things right, because I'm sure they can receive it from you. Whereas sometimes if you come in and like, well, wait a minute, hold on, right. That it might put people off, but I'm sure they just eat it right up from you.
They're really shocked.
Really?
That I am standing up. And like you said, speaking up for others. But I didn't start off that way. I grew into that.
Okay.
I feel that I was definitely most comfortable, as most of us are, around family. So around family, I was pushed to go and ask for certain things from my grandfather.
Okay.
So my cousins would say, go ask, granddaddy for da-da-da-da-da. So I don't know if that, it's something.
So that might mean, because you had the golden tongue, right? And if Rita asked for some ices, we might get them.
I was the first grandchild.
Okay.
So, like you said, I guess I was the golden child. But I remember them as soon as I got over there, whatever they wanted, they would push me in. They would say, my grandfather was a very quiet man.
Okay.
But when he spoke, he definitely commanded that respect.
Okay.
So, but again, it didn't. I wasn't fearful or intimidated.
What did they have you asking for? Was it like treats or to get to go
Yeah,
outside?
treats. Treats. They wanted me to get money,
Okay.
food.
Okay.
We had a club, clubs, Bel Air and 2900. So back in the day when you went outside to play, it was my cousin Wanda and the two boys.
Oh, she calling names. Oh, she slipped up. She called a name.
But it's everybody know we were the Four Musketeers.
Okay.
And so we had our little club. So they wanted, after we did our activities, we would always go to the corner store.
Okay.
And so we needed money. So they would ask me to get money from him so we could
go get your
start our banking account. So we had a banking account.
Oh wow!
So he actually made the first deposit. He would make probably
you literally
weekly.
Had a really
not
at home.
No, just our little
the piggy
club.
Bank. Okay,
it was the club account.
Okay,
we actually had a club account.
Wow.
We were very creative back in the day.
And you came up with that on your own?
Well, it probably was me. I'm not sure whose idea it was, but we came up with a lot of fun activity. We were very creative.
That is creative.
Yeah. So
you had your own account. And did you go and buy now laters? I know we used to want now laters. We used to want pickles.
Oh yes, pickles.
And they came in a little bag. Those pickles were good.
Now I don't eat pickles, but then I love
as kids.
They're different. Everything's different now. Okay. So I did try some.
And
recently.
They don't even taste the same
Not
anymore.
The same.
Yeah. That's crazy. That is so crazy. Well, we know a little bit more about you now, and that was just so helpful. So professionally, we here on the broadcast. I keep wanting to say broadcast, so broadcast, maybe it's coming.
Right.
But podcast, it's the same thing. It is a form of a broadcast, but we focus a lot on education. So, and that's really one of the main reasons why we wanted to come. So just tell us a little bit more about what you do professionally and how you got into it, how long you've been doing it.
Well, what I do professionally, I'm a professional. I love that. Professional child care provider.
Okay.
I actually own and operate my own in-home child care. Been doing it for many years, 40 plus years. Wow. Started, it fell into my lap. I was caring for a little blessing that came my way. And the next thing I knew, my phone started ringing.
Wow.
And because of one kind act that I did for a young lady, she needed emergency child care.
Okay.
And she didn't have transportation. So I told her that I would come, pick up the baby, bring him to my house. When you got home, I would bring him back to your house. Wow. So that's how Loving Hands started.
Okay.
And I never advertised, but I always had a waiting list.
Okay, so we want to pause on that. So that speaks volumes. You never advertised.
Never advertised.
Always had a waiting list. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm still trying to figure out. You said somebody needed emergency child care. Like, how did... So, you were just talking friends, something?
My girlfriend worked with her.
Okay.
And she was so distraught at work. She said she was thinking that she would have to quit.
Okay.
Because when she would take her son to the child care, well, I'm not even going to call her a child care provider, to the babysitter.
Okay.
And excuse me, some people, I look at child care as, and it's dependent on the person. Some people babysit and they take it very seriously. But I'm just, it was a elderly lady that I believe, she was collecting Social Security. She just wanted to make some extra money.
Okay.
So when she would bring her son in, she would say, well, honey, just put him down in front of the TV. I'll get him in a minute.
Okay.
And she said when she came back to pick him up, it looked like he had not been moved very far.
Wow.
He was soiled. He was crying tremendous, like he had not been fed all day.
Really?
So,
Goodness, that's
needless
not
to
cool.
say, as a mother,
Mm-hmm.
that bothered you, and
Okay.
father. So,
Mm-hmm.
they, like I said, she called me in tears, and I'm getting chills
Wow.
because it just touched my heart.
But why did she just called you, or your friend
My
told her to
friend
call?
referred her to me.
It's like your gift, and I know we look at that a lot of ways, and it really, but your gift just caused that door to open.
Right.
Like it was destined for you. Do you feel that
I feel
way
that.
about it?
I feel that because prior to that phone call,
Mm-hmm.
I am visiting a friend, and as I was leaving the friend's house, I got into my car and I saw a young lady with a baby.
Hmm.
It was raining outside, so I was wondering why she was walking in the rain with the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And you know me, I'm gonna take care of somebody.
Uh-huh.
I rolled my window down because I just watched her for a minute. And I
Uh-huh.
said, let me see if she's walking to her car.
Uh-huh.
But she wasn't. She was walking. She continued to walk through the parking lot. It was an apartment complex. And I said, I rolled my window down and I said, do you need anything? Can I help you?
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw that she was crying. And she said,
The mother.
the mother was
Oh my
crying. And she
goodness.
said, I'm going to the bus stop with my baby. And I said, well, no, you're not in this rain. You're not. I said, come on, if you don't mind, if you feel comfortable, you can get in my car and I'll take you wherever you need to go.
Uh-huh.
And
Wow.
so one thing I did that, and
Mm-hmm.
after I got to her home, I said, look, if you need anything, of course we talked and
Okay,
everything on the
okay.
way, but I gave her my number and I said, if you need
Wow.
anything, please
Mm-hmm.
give me a call.
Mm-hmm.
And the story was she did give me a call.
Okay.
And I helped her for a good while.
Okay.
But unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because God has his plan,
Yeah.
she was not able to care for the child the way the child needed to be cared for.
Okay.
So I did something that for me at that time
Mm-hmm.
was very out of the box.
Hmm.
I stepped in, and my husband and I became legal guardians for the baby.
See, I never heard that backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard all of that.
But it was through, it was through a few, we actually petitioned for custody when she was about 12 months or so.
Wow.
Because she started bringing her to me to keep.
Okay.
And I did not have a child care facility, but I would keep her weekends.
Okay.
When I was when I got off from work.
Uh-huh.
And it worked out where what my husband was doing at the time, it allowed me to just be home.
Okay.
With the baby.
And was it like it was just more of a not able financially, mentally, emotionally, neglect, drugs, domestic? What was going on?
She had some things going on, and I just out of privacy for her.
Got you.
I just didn't want it because I believe, and to this day, she loved the baby.
Mm-hmm. Got you.
She just didn't have the tools that she needed at that time.
Got you.
To care for her.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I'm very mindful when I'm speaking in public about the situation because I care for her.
Absolutely.
To this day.
And that's awesome.
And I wish the best.
Yeah, and that speaks to your character.
Yeah.
So at the time, so you were doing that at the time when your friend referred the other lady as well, or?
Well, they just knew. Actually, some time had passed.
Okay, got you.
And I did start.
Okay.
Doing a little childcare. I didn't have a full childcare service. I just had my child.
Yeah.
But they knew that I had stopped working because I didn't want to leave her. And that was a step of faith.
Uh-huh.
Because I was starting a career.
Yeah.
I had just gotten on with the government.
Okay, I didn't realize that either. Mm-hmm. What agency, or can you share?
Oh yeah, I worked with a few. I worked at the post office.
Okay.
And then I worked at the hospital.
Okay.
And it was one other.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So, but then you changed your whole career because you couldn't bear leaving the baby.
After what she had experienced,
yeah,
I just wanted to make sure that I was her primary caregiver.
Yeah. Yep. Got it.
And my husband was in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. 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 So it's a dual thing.
Yeah.
It's not just you, but it's his heart and his passion as well.
And that's something because of his background. I know we are who we are as we've learned over the years because our environment has shaped us.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband had gone through a lot as a child.
Okay.
So the love that he had for children, he never wanted to see a child, displaced or just doing without. So whatever he could do or we could do together to help, that's just what we did.
Got it. That's perfect. Perfect. You know, my passion for what I'm aware of in the schools and how I want to help and why on earth I feel like I can, who knows. But I want to ask you, and when I say that, it's like, who are you? Who do you think you are to change, make such a change in anything outside of your control? But I just kind of feel that way. Mm-hmm. And I believe you do as well. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. But tell me, why do you feel you're so effective in working with kids? Or another way to say this, why do you have a waiting list and you're not advertising? Maybe that's another way to say it. What is it? What's special?
The word says your gift will make room for you.
Okay.
And I knew that I liked children growing up. Mm-hmm. And when I look back, I was the teenager with all the children in the yard playing jump rope, kickball. No one saw that at the time. Mm-hmm. I had different feelings throughout my youth with children. The experiences I've had with a family member's daughter. One time I became very emotional and overwhelmed when they were having some challenges caring for her. She was going from home to home.
Okay.
And I kept her a little bit for them, just, in the evenings or weekends.
Okay.
But when I really got emotional about that, and I couldn't understand why.
Uh-huh.
And that even takes me back to making sure as parents that you're in tune with your children.
Okay.
Now, my parents adored me, and they gave me so much love and care. Uh-huh. However, they only did the best that they could. Yeah. Because they had to work.
Yeah.
So because they were working as hard as they were, sometimes I was that latchkey kid. I was home alone. Okay. So
that's why you're so different, right? They did it. Therefore, you did it.
So, but I always thought about children. Okay. When I get older. Okay. I'm going to, get married and have children. That was like my, I'm going to have children. And I would sit on the back porch and I would think about the children and my family. Wow. And it's amazing that, my story has so many layers, but I couldn't, after I got married, we found out that I was unable to have children because I had endometriosis. Okay. And we tried fertility and a lot of different things, but eventually, because the endometriosis was affecting my body so bad, I was in so much pain, I had a complete hysterectomy.
Gotcha.
So it's ironic. Well, I'm not even going to say ironic, but it's a divine appointment. Yes, I know for the way that situation happened with not only one child, but two. Wow. And I wasn't looking. Wow. I was minding my business.
Kind of like it came to you.
It came to me.
Wow.
And for me, again, I grew into my voice outside of my home, but I didn't bother anybody. For me to even take the steps that I took, not thinking about, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to cause any confusion. My focus was on the child.
The child.
what was best for the child.
So I understand that maybe you're doing something new with social services. Tell us about that.
Yes, I'm actually becoming licensed to be a subsidy provider. And what that is social services will pay up to a certain amount of the tuition, sometimes up to $250 to $300.
Wow.
And all you need to do is go on their website and you could just put in subsidy and the website would come up.
Okay. And then to find your specific service, which name should they look under? Or
they need to look under We Are Loving Hands.
Okay.
Just like it sounds. WE, capital ARELOVINGHANDS. So you can put my name in once I finish the process. Then you would put my name in, and then it would pop up my and then my advisor would let me know that I have someone that's interested in me caring for their child.
Got it. So I just want to recap that and emphasize it. So really what we're saying, if there are parents out there who would love to have their child cared for by Ms. Rita and her program, We Are Loving Hands, she's in the process of being certified with this special program with social services so that they would subsidize, meaning they would pay for it for you in large part. So that's something to stay tuned for. Check out the social services site. And very soon, maybe by the time you see this, Rita's program will be on the list. And that would be a help to so many parents. So I just want to say for us, Rita, what can we do to make this bigger and help more children? And I'm hoping that there's somebody out there like that who, wants to support, not to get in the way, not change anything that you're doing, but to help support it. So I'm looking forward to, and we, our guests share their hearts. We do our best to give you a capsule, but we want to hear from our audience as well. So I hope you guys comment. I hope somebody wants to get in contact with Ms. Rita because we would love to send them your way. Colossians 3:23 and 24. And whatever you do, do it with all your heart as unto the Lord and not unto men, knowing that it's of the Lord that you shall receive the reward of the inheritance, because you serve the Lord Christ.